Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless. A sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it.
Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. The intro will be a little different than it was just a moment ago, but welcome in, everybody. So it's good to see you, everybody. It's good to see you guys. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in. Oh, really? Oh, whoops. Well, sometimes that happens. I see them all, though. I'm on the wrong live, though, it looks like. So we want to go back. And then if you guys are ever in, and I'll try to tell you guys this as much as I can. If you're ever in the vertical live and you want to be in the horizontal live where the lives are like regular, all you have to do is just double tap the screen to like the video and then go down to your picture, like your profile, and then go into your liked videos, click your this video that you just liked, and then it'll turn into a horizontal view for you guys. Also, my dogs are out there and they'll be coming in a minute. I don't know what he's banging around out there, but they'll be coming in a minute. So sorry about that. Sorry they're not already in here ready to go, but they wanted to stay out there because their dad had food. So that's what they do. But welcome in. It's good to see everybody here. If you guys don't mind, maybe you'll take a second and hit the like button. But welcome back to the channel, everybody. If you are new here, I am Tanya. This is Titanium Built. We cover true crime on this channel, and we break down true crime cases, the court filings, and we look closely at what new evidence has kind of come and been brought forward. So before we get started, make sure that you are subscribed, you turn on the notifications, and if you want to support deeper coverage on cases like this one, consider becoming a member of our channel. You can do that at the bottom of your screen. There's usually like a $sign there if you want to become a member. And also Nightpot will be flowing through chat. But tonight we're going to be talking about one of the cases many of you guys have been following closely, and you guys have been following it with me. It's the latest developments in the Ashley Flynn case out of Tip City, Ohio. So basically, the new court activity centers around Caleb's attorneys. Right now, Caleb Flynn remains in jail on a $2 million hold on a bond. He's facing charges of murder, felonious assault, tampering with evidence, charges tied to Ashley Flynn's death, and that's his wife. If you guys didn't know that. Hey, Lady Garden. Hey, welcome in, everybody. It's good to see you guys. It's good to see you. But one of the biggest new developments is that the defense has filed a motion asking the court for a gag order. And we're going to go through all of the court dockets, I guess you would call them, tonight. So they want a gag order, and we'll get an answer on, not an answer, but we'll get an answer from the prosecution on what they think about that gag order, which it's surprising. So basically what a gag order is if you guys don't know from the Brian Koberger Idaho 4 case, it means that they want restrictions placed on what prosecutors, law enforcement, and possibly others involved in the case can publicly say moving forward. A lot of times they'll suppress like evidence, stuff like that. Like, they won't give anything out until the trial is over. So hopefully the judge, goes in our favor and he doesn't do a gag order. But the defense argues that because this case has received heavy media attention, public comments could affect Caleb's ability to receive a fair trial. Another major request filed by the defense asked for certain court records and discovery materials to be restricted from public view. That includes sensitive documents that may normally become public during early proceedings, like I was kind of just saying. The concern from the defense attorneys is that releasing too much too early could influence potential jurors. They probably will ask for it to be taken out of Tip City next. That's what I'm going to say. But at this time, family-related filings are continuing behind the scenes, and we will get a little taste of that today. Attorneys connected to the guardians of the children have asked for financial records, marital asset details, and life insurance documentation. So we'll read through that document tonight. One of the filings specifically focuses on life insurance policy where Caleb Flynn was reportedly listed as the primary beneficiary. And we actually went over one of those papers. I forget how much the life insurance was for. But now the preliminary hearing is expected later this month, and I keep having to look, March 26th, where prosecutors will present enough evidence to show why the case should continue towards grand jury review. And I'll be in court for that hearing. If we get like a break or anything like that, and I can go outside, if I can leave the courtroom and everything, which I should be able to if we're on a break, I will make sure that, I hop on a live or at least get a video done and put it out to you guys. That way you guys know what's going on. But that hearing could be one of the first major moments where evidence is publicly discussed in court, because we haven't heard a whole lot. We know a little, but we haven't heard a whole lot. I think there's a lot that they're going to tell us at the preliminary hearing. And let me know if you're in Ohio, if you're going to go to the preliminary hearing. So I feel like we have a lot of Ohio people here. But a temporary protection order was filed earlier on behalf of the children, and it's now been withdrawn, although court filings note that it could be requested again if circumstances change. And I kind of want to go over that too. I don't know why they withdrew that. And of course, people are still focused on the previously released body cam footage that came out, because investigators quickly appeared skeptical of the original story presented the night of the murders. They weren't buying it. So, do you guys believe the push for a gag order is a normal legal move in a high-profile case? It seems to be. Or do you think that it signals concerns about what might come out publicly? Drop your thoughts in the chat. Let me know what you guys think. Haley, welcome on in, everyone. Thanks, Tracy. It's good to see everybody. Welcome in. I'm going to put this in the chat real quick. Actually, I usually pin it, but I will. I'll just replace the pin message. Okay, so I do want to go over, there's like an article that I found, and then just it says like, what do we know about former American Idol contestant and accused killer Caleb Flynn's late wife and 2 kids? And then I'm going to show you guys something tonight, and it's going to blow your freaking gasket. Like, I don't know. It did me anyway. I was like, what? I don't know. I've never seen it before. Maybe you guys have, but it's something new that came out, and I was just like, I don't know how I feel about it. I guess I really don't have any thoughts on it other than, I mean, I'll give them to you here in a minute. So it says, sorry, I was reading the top. I was like, what's going on here? What is Sheriff Guthrie? I'm going to pin this to the next tab because he's over there talking about stupid crap again. I'm kind of glad that they blurred, the kids' faces. Look how beautiful she was. A beautiful family. I mean, you can't take that away from them. So, former American Idol contestant, if you didn't already know, he was on the 12th season. I cannot find, I've been looking and I'm going to dig further, but I was trying to look for his audition tape. Like, what song did he sing? I wanted to find out, like, if he was on it actually, like, on any episodes, or if he just got the golden ticket and he went out there. Like, what episode was he on if he got the golden ticket? I'm sure he was on some sort of episode. I don't really know how American Idol works, but let me know if you guys have seen it. I've just seen the one interview where he says she's very pretty. So the 39-year-old called the police on February 16th, claiming that there was a burglary at his and his wife Ashley Flynn's home in Tip City, Ohio, where they lived with their 2 young children. Ashley, who was 37, was pronounced dead after police responded to the call. Somebody broke into my house and killed my wife. The caller, later revealed as Caleb, said in the nearly 8-minute call obtained by People. That 8-minute call was the longest, weirdest 911 call I've ever heard, probably ever since I've been on this platform. Maybe ever. The oh my gods were like too many. The Are you going to give her CPR? Huh? Like, just the way he was acting. Like, they had to ask him multiple times. I mean, like, hello? That would be your first instinct, you would think. But, It says 3 days later, Caleb, who appeared on American Idol in 2013, was taken into custody and charged with murder, 2 counts of felonious assault, and 2 counts of tampering with evidence, per online court records reviewed by People. He has pled not guilty to all charges. Following Caleb's arrest, Ashley's family released a statement saying that she brought endless light to our world and we are trying to navigate this immense loss. Our family believes this arrest was made carefully and not without serious consideration. After speaking with both local police and federal authorities, we trust the proper steps were taken and the process is being handled appropriately. We are clinging to our faith just as Ashley did each and every day. And here's everything to know about Caleb Flynn's late wife and 2 kids. There's not a lot to know about him. I've been digging and I can't really find too much. They both went to Lee University, which is like in Tennessee. So I'm wondering if they were together back then or if that's how they met. I don't know. Ashley was a volleyball coach and substitute teacher, so we knew that. But it says prior to her death, Ashley was working as a volleyball coach at Tippecanoe Middle School and a substitute teacher at LifeWise Academy. On February 16th, Tip City School shared a statement about Ashley's death on Facebook, writing, "She was known for her beautiful smile, warmth, and kindness, and the positive impact she had on so many, both in and out of the classroom and on the court." Sorry, I had a cough. And we did go by, when I showed you guys the video around their property, we went by the school, Tippecanoe. Outside of work, the Christian Life Center in Dayton, Ohio, described Flynn as a beloved member of the church in a Facebook announcement by Pastor Jordan Henson. And we'll hear from him in just a minute, too, actually. I forgot I had that video. It's only like a minute long. Okay. Caleb spoke about Ashley during an interview in American Idol. I understand being nervous and stuff, but he wasn't nervous. Not when he was talking about Carrie Underwood, If the Carrie Underwood thing wouldn't have been in there, I wouldn't have been like, oh, that's all he had to say. You know what I mean? Like, I would have been like, oh, he's nervous. He's young. He's nervous. But no. When Caleb appeared on American Idol's 12th season in 2013, he spoke about his wife during one of his interviews. He credited her for helping push him to audition for the show. So if it wasn't for her, he wouldn't have got that stupid golden ticket. It's just crazy. The kids, I believe it is his parents, I want to say. Or no, her parents. His parents don't live here. They're from Minnesota, I believe, and her parents live here. Jill is her mom's name, I believe. It's probably got a drink. I was gonna let my dog in, but I don't think she's out there, so I turned my camera off to do it. But I don't think she's right there. So, yes, he credited her for pushing him to audition for the show. Their 2 daughters were home when Ashley was fatally shot. I mean, I don't think he thought he was going to get away with this. If the girls were out of the house, I think that he would have been like, oh, the cops want to look at me immediately. But they were looking at you immediately because you were the worst actor ever. I mean, you weren't an actor anyway. You were a singer, right? Should have stuck with singing. So Caleb and Ashley shared 2 daughters, both of whom were at the Tip City residence at the time of the February 16th shooting, according to a 911 call previously released by police and the body cam footage released by authorities on March 2nd. And if you guys didn't see that, we did we did watch it on the channel. Ashley's death was initially reported by Caleb in a frantic 911 call where he claimed someone had broken into their home and killed her. In the body cam footage that was released a few weeks later, Caleb appeared to have been grieving, panicking, crying, and at times hyperventilating and throwing up upon the police arrival at the scene. I wonder if he really actually like threw up. I don't want to be like gross or anything. Like, I don't need to see it, but I mean, you can shoot somebody and still have a visceral react, like a reaction to that, like like throwing up, crying. I mean, if I ever did, I would be. In one of the videos, Caleb is seen leaving the residence to talk to a relative as she arrives at the scene. The girls don't know. He tells the woman, who is identified in the video as the grandmother of the two children, which is Ashley's mom. So a GoFundMe has been set up for their daughters. And I'm going to show you another GoFundMe. But it's a give, send, go in a minute. Now let me pop this up, because this is one that we want people to donate to this. It's still going on. Everything's still okay. I'm gonna put this in the chat. Hey Higgins, they didn't give me a notification. I even set this one early too. I don't know if I got one, did I? I don't know if I got one. Actually, I usually get one. Like, it'll say your channel's one. So a GoFundMe has been organized by a family friend to assist Caleb and Ashley's two children amid their mother's death. And I believe that's a great thing to do, because those two little girls are going to need therapy. They're going to need college funds, because these are things that whoever takes these two girls in, right, or maybe one family member takes one, and I hope they're together. But if it comes down to it, these families weren't expecting to have another person in their family. Does that make sense? Not like it's they don't want them or anything, but it's just that GoFundMe is really going to be able to help set them girls up, for a while. So it says, so many people have asked how they can support the Flynn girls during this unimaginable time. This fundraiser was created as a way to come alongside them and help ease some of the financial burden in the days and months ahead. Please continue to lift up her two daughters and the entire family in prayer. As of March 4th, and I'll let you know what it is now, but the fundraiser has received over 1,400 donations and raised over $166,000. It is now at how many days? Excuse me. I don't know how many days. Okay, well, it's been on there for some days. Oh, they didn't say days. They said donations. 1.4K donations still, but it's at 173,643. So that's pretty good. So it says, following Ashley's death, her family shared a statement with people through a spokesperson saying that she brought endless light to the world. Part of her online obituary adds, Ashley was known as a shining light of joy to all who crossed her path, effortlessly encouraging others along the way. Her kindness and spirit touched the countless lives, often in ways she never even realized. The obituary, which also describes her as a caring and a dedicated mother, continues, if you are experiencing domestic violence, call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233 or go to thehotline.org. All calls are toll-free and confidential. The hotline is available for 24/7 in more than 170 languages. And at this point, if you don't speak the language, your phone probably does. I'll put the comments on the screen. I don't know if they help you guys or not, but maybe you see them like that. They're still so small, in my opinion. Okay. So, yeah, this is her GoFundMe. I don't know who, James. Did they give their address? I hope they didn't, but they donated a lot of money. like you can see like the top donators, like amazing people out there, amazing, you know. So it looks like John Crawford and Kara Crawford are putting it on, and they're one of Ashley's closest friends, which is a good idea. I don't know who Rob is. Maybe that's her brother, family member, father. I don't know. No, because her maiden name's Smith. There they are. I can hear them dogs. You didn't get a notification either? Well, hold on. Let me let them two in real quick. I'm not even going to mute it. So if it gets loud with pops, I'm sorry. You want to come in? Where's your sister? Nia? She coming? Nia? Are you kidding? They're gonna go outside. No, like Mia was like, I'm not going in there. So I ran back out to look for it. It was really cute. I should have left my camera on this so you guys could see that. So this is only 1 minute 34 seconds, but I know a lot of people they've been talking, you know, is you could say, or was there an affair? Was Caleb having an affair with one of the girls at the church? And then I started like doing some more like looking into it, and it was like maybe this is all speculation right here. So this is speculation on my part. Maybe he was having multiple affairs, and that's why they were leaving. You know, they had left a church or two, like kind of just abruptly. I don't know. But now we have this guy that's going to come on that's a preacher for Caleb and Ashley, and he's going to say somebody unexpectedly just left the parish. And I don't know. To me, that's a little weird. Why would you leave? Now, if he was having an affair with this girl, I could see the church saying, we don't want this, like we don't want this kind of like press around our church. So we're going to ask you to, you know, please resign or whatever you would call it. Because I mean, she was a part of the, you know, the choir and stuff. I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys think they would do that? Oh, yeah, you guys didn't mention too much. Yeah, I think this is going to be that one's a good one to donate to. Now I'm going to show you one here in a minute. You can make up your own mind on that one. But let's listen to what he has to say here for a minute. Do I have the volume up? Nope. Let's turn him up. Now this, I guess, is preacher guy. I really need to go to that church. Today's Saturday. I got an outfit.
I want to thank you, our church family.
And let me know if your church would do this. Just let me know. Like, because I've been in to many churches, and yeah, I would think no. I've never heard this.
For the prayers, support, and love that you've shared with me and our staff. We are deeply grateful to rely on God's comfort, abundant grace, and wisdom during these past few emotionally challenging days. I also want to inform you that Aaliyah Botner, one of our worship leaders, submitted her resignation without explanation. We do not know why. Pastor Josh Bonslar will continue to oversee and lead weekend services, tech, and worship, as he has for these past few years. We continue to support, care, and pray for Ashley Flynn's family She and her extended family mean a lot to me personally and to our church. Her life and faith have impacted thousands, maybe tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands.
Oh yeah, hundreds.
We
of
will
thousands.
continue to fully cooperate with law enforcement as they carry out their difficult work during this ongoing investigation. And the one thing I respectfully ask from each of you is to guard hearts, to resist the temptation to speculate or gossip. Much of this is fueled by social media posts from individuals with no direct knowledge or facts. Unfounded rumors only make the situation worse, and each of us are called to love, mourn, care, and keep our eyes fixed on Jesus.
Now, the ending, I was like, whatever, but the beginning.
I want to thank you, our church family, for the prayers, support, and love that you've shared with me and our staff. We are deeply grateful to rely on God's comfort, abundant grace, and wisdom during these past few emotionally challenging days.
Does anyone know how long they were going to that church? Was it a long time? I feel like it wasn't that long.
I also want to inform you that Aaliyah Botner, one of our worship leaders, submitted her resignation without explanation.
What? Aaliyah just submitted her resignation without explanation. So let's just hear that out. So when you resign from a company or I guess a church, right? You probably put in a letter of resignation. That's normally what you do. Did she just say, toodaloo, bye? I'm sure she didn't. I'm sure she put in that letter exactly why she was leaving. I'm sure she put in that letter at least a little bit of why she was leaving. She didn't just say bye. Hello, dear church person, church pastor, thanks for everything you've done. You're awesome. Bye. And who stands at the podium and talks about an employee or someone a part of their church family and says they decided to put in their letter of resignation and not tell us why? What? That is so unprofessional. That is the most unprofessional church thing I've ever seen in my life. Okay, not the most unprofessional because I was raised Catholic. We're good with that. We're good with that collection plate. But I'm just saying, like, this is the most really like. You're standing in front of this church gets so busy, guys, that they have to have the police there every Sunday to direct the traffic. You go this way, you go this way. Like, that's how big this church is. And but we love Ashley. We miss her. But there's Caleb out there too. Like, who, sir? Okay. So then we have the attorney. I think we saw this, but I can't remember. So I'm going to, I didn't get a chance to rewatch it. I don't know why. I think this is a different one. I think the one that we saw him on was like a different station. So we'll watch him on the station. I don't know if this is a fire. Okay.
At 5, a delay in the court case of a man accused of killing his wife and trying to hide the evidence. Police arrested Caleb Flynn days after they found Ashley Flynn dead in their home. News Center 7's Mike Campbell has covered this murder since the start. And Mike, you spoke with Caleb Flynn's lawyer. He asked for this delay.
Gabrielle, I spoke with Patrick Mulligan, a well-known defense lawyer in Dayton. He says everyone has seen coverage of what happened here at this house, and he says everyone's heard and read a lot of social media comments as well, but he says that's all been a one-sided story, and a delay is necessary to make sure that mistakes aren't made.
I have not experienced this.
So he hasn't met with his client yet?
This level of publicity on any case that I've had in my 41 years as a lawyer.
Patrick Mulligan told me it feels like a feeding frenzy on his client, Caleb Flynn.
It always amazes me at the stupid statements that are made on social media.
Mulligan told me Caleb Flynn's case is not ready for a preliminary hearing just a week after his arrest.
Sir, I just want to take care of my daughters. I'm not at risk.
Mulligan said there is a lot of hate and other emotions being directed at his client. Tip City Police arrested him a week ago. They'd been called to the couple's home on February 16th when Caleb made a phone call indicating an intruder shot his wife. Ashley Flynn's death left two girls without a mother and a community without a popular teacher and coach. Caleb Flynn's lawyer is trying to slow down what he calls a runaway rush to judgment.
People who are hungry for any information are liable to believe anything that they hear.
Mulligan told me
No, we're just hearing what we see right here. We're just looking at the court documents.
he has talked to Caleb Flynn, but did not share details of those conversations.
Now they've talked.
He said a delay is also good for police and prosecutors waiting for test results and information.
That's the question when you go to court. What can they prove? And there has to be real evidence rather than rumors and speculation.
I bet that gun, I bet they've already got the ballistics back on that.
Back
And then he said, it's in my truck.
live here, you can still see tributes being left here for Ashley Flynn. Now, police are still waiting for test results of evidence that was gathered here and waiting for forensic downloads from devices that were seized here as well. And that's all playing into this delay as well. The preliminary hearing moved back about a month by the judge until late March. Reporting live in Tip City, Mike Camp.
Who was it? I can't remember off the top of my head. We cover a lot of cases. Who was it that was doing? Oh, was it Brian Walsh that was doing the Google searches on his kids' iPads, thinking he was going to get away with it? I'm just wondering. Yeah, I'm just wondering if that's something that he would do. You know, I think it was Brian Walsh. Oh, he probably did it. I hope that they tested his hands before they fingerprinted him, though. I'm sure they did. It was him. Okay, that's what I thought. I don't know. Just when they said, like, I don't know, just something like that, kind of reminded me of something that he might do. You never know. But they're going to test all of them. All of them will be tested. So I'm just going to wait for the dogs. But why does it keep doing that? Like every time I go over here to the Ashley like Facebook page, it'll be like, "Do you want to do something else?" I'm like, "No, I don't." Okay, I was going to see if there's anything new. It doesn't look like it. Okay. Before we get to, oh, there it is. I'm like, where is this stuff at? Okay. Let me get to the, I don't know why it decided to do that. Okay, so this one goes like this. Okay. So this is his docket, like where all of his charges are, it has all information, party, charge, ticket, event, docket, financial disposition. So we're going under docket information because that's where all of the like different documents will be. So on 2/20 was when the case was filed. That okay. This is a lot easier than last night's. So we've read over these before, but this is the criminal complaint for Caleb Carl Flynn. Caleb Carl, 932 Cunningham Court, Tip City, Ohio. Date of birth, May 13th, 1986. He has blonde hair, I guess, or he's bald, as what the court says, the jail, and has blue eyes, white male. And then the complainant is, this is the peace officer. He says, hey, I duly swear that Caleb of Tip City, Ohio, County of Miami, State of Ohio, did purposely cause the death of another or the unlawful termination of another's pregnancy. Caleb Flynn murdered his wife in the morning hours of February 16th, 2026. Okay, I think they're at the door, so let me let them in really quick. Hold on one second. Everybody be good. Sorry about that. Thank you. And if they start growling, we still don't know actually if she was pregnant or not. I'm thinking we're going to find out at the preliminary hearing. And if we don't find out by then, I could call a lawyer, I guess, and ask them. Pinson just came back in for some reason. Sorry. So because remember we looked it up. So when I looked it up, and when I looked up, how did I look it up? I said, would the cause of the death of another and unlawful termination of a pregnancy be in the same, like, would it be in the same sentence if it didn't belong? And it was like, no, they would not put that. We've read over multiple complaints on this channel from, people in Ohio, and I've never seen this wording in my life ever. So it's very, I don't know, maybe I can look this up. It's very suspicious. Let's see what it says under the section of the Ohio Revised Code. See, now it says over here, it does say that. See, now this is the Ohio Revised Code, so it could be that this is the code for this. Because I know when I looked it up, it said no. But it says over here, defines murder as purposefully causing the death of another or the unlawful termination of another's pregnancy. The statute makes it illegal to act with the intent to kill. It's distinct from aggravated murder or felony murder. Violators are guilty of murder, generally punishable by 15 years to life. So I guess it could be worded like that. It just is so weird. So we've looked up other like Ohio laws and it's never been there, but this might be a new thing. But yeah, I'm looking under the Ohio Revised Code, the actual like revised code for Ohio. So I guess it does say that, which is very weird. That they would put that in there. But and when I looked it up, it did say no, it wouldn't be like that. But now that I'm looking at the revised code, it does say that. So it must be this section A of the revised code. The affiant further finds and specifies that the offender had a firearm on or about the offender's person or under the offender's control while committing the offense, 9mm handgun. So then they have the felonious assault. There's two of those. Attempt to cause physical harm to another or to another's unborn by means of a deadly weapon or dangerous ordinance. And there's two felonious assaults. I believe, or is there one? And then I think maybe two tampering with evidence. And then tampering with evidence there. There's another tampering with evidence. So tampering with evidence twice, and then felonious assault twice, and then murder. And then the other charges that were tacked on, I still don't see them on the docket. So as of right now, I'm not sure why they're not on there. But maybe they'll be on there after the preliminary hearing as well. I don't think it says, because I don't think we got the autopsy yet. Yeah, we haven't. Hold on, let's see. Yeah, because they denied the release of it. That's what it was, remember? I don't know. They said that they denied the release. I think it says right here why they did it. Let's see. It says that the coroner, William Ginn, wrote that he will not release the preliminary autopsy findings because the county prosecutor told him he is not required to do so. Well, just because you're not required doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Per our county prosecutor, the information from the preliminary autopsy is in our state is not required to be released as public knowledge. Thus, I will not be releasing the autopsy's findings per his direction. So let me just pin this because there has to be a way to fight that. You know what I mean? Like maybe they'll let it out, like they'll put it out during court or like the preliminary hearing. Oh yeah, you can get a divorce while you're pregnant. Oh, they better not. No, yeah, they better not. So let's go back to the case file. The next one is entrance of appearance. This is for his attorney. It's a short one. And now comes Moore, Mond, and Mulligan, attorneys at law, and makes their notice of appearance for the defendant, Caleb Flynn. Okay. Thank you. And then I'll just pull that. What was this? Okay. This is preliminary hearing, Miami County Municipal Court. The judge was Kendall, prosecutor Freeman. Caleb Flynn has the case number. And then it's set for a preliminary hearing. Hearing date was supposed to be February 26th, but now it's March 26th at 1 p.m. because they needed time to look at the discovery, which I understand. Like, I mean, you just became his attorney. I see that. So then the next one is in the Miami County Municipal Court, and it's for fingerprints, I believe. Yeah. So the defendant was fingerprinted at the time of the arrest. And then it just has Samuel Huffman's, the judge signature, and then another Anthony Kendall judge signature. This, whatever this is secured. And then Caleb signed this. So I don't know why he didn't put any of the dates in, but it says, be it remembered that on the, back to the dates, the accused personally appeared before me, and after due consideration of the circumstances, the court is of the opinion that the accused will appear as required before/after conviction. It is therefore ordered that the accused be released. Oh yeah, so this is if you were going to be released on your own recognizance, and he no, he got a $2 million. He's sitting pretty for a while, so yeah, not on your own recognizance, you're not getting out. Oh, that was the same one. So then 224, a waiver of time of preliminary hearing came out. And it says the defendant, Caleb Flynn, hereby waives his right to a preliminary hearing within the time guaranteed him by the United States Constitution, the Constitution of the State of Ohio, and is set forth more fully in gives the section of the Ohio Revised Code. Therefore, the defendant hereby agrees to waive any defect with regard to the statutory time within which preliminary hearing shall be held. Okay. Let me exit a couple of these things so it's a little easier. Okay. The next one is waiver of time requirements executed by the defendant. Oh, here's where they all are. Found them. Okay, when I was going through these earlier, I must have skipped this one. And how did that's crazy. So remember how I said Caleb was like charged with more charges? This is the ones that I was talking about. So let's read through this and see what it says. And see if that's what it means. So, waiver of time requirements. I, Caleb Flynn, have been fully advised concerning my rights to a speedy trial as provided by the Constitution of the United States and the state of Ohio, by statutes including but not limited to revised code sections 2945.71 through 0.73, which provide for the right to a trial within 90 days, as I am in jail in lieu of bail solely on a pending case, otherwise up to 270 days. I understand these rights and voluntarily waive them personally and by counsel. This waiver applies to every offense and specification which could be charged against me related to the investigation of the offense with which I am now charged. Okay, so I get it now. So these are what could be tacked on. And Ohio is known for the murder ones. So yeah, they'll probably be tacked on. So, okay, that's what it means. So it says there, this waiver applies to every offense and specification which could be charged against me related to the investigation of the offense with which I am now charged, including but not limited to the following offense. Oh, there's my mouse. I'm like, where'd it go? Murder, aggravated murder, felony murder, 2 felonious assaults, 2 tampering with evidence, 2 intimidation of a witness, I'm assuming for his kids, obstructing justice, 1-year firearm specification, and 3-year firearm specification. I think he's probably going to get charged with all of them. At least 2 of these murders, I bet. He only has 1 right now, like murder. I think he'll probably get like aggravated, maybe felony, maybe all of it. Maybe all 3. Because that's in Ohio where it's weird like that we do that. Like we'll have like, you'll be charged with murder and then like there'll be 1 victim, but then you'll be charged with like murder, felony murder. And then like, people will be like, why are they charged with 2 murders? And it's like, well, the murder charge and then murder because they were committing a felony while committing the murder, like, another felony. So it's like, it's weird. It's weird in Ohio. We're weird. So then waiver of time. Okay, I already read that. So then the next one is joint motion to set preliminary hearing date filed by prosecutor. Let me load that up for you guys. Okay. Now comes the plaintiff, state of Ohio, and defendant Caleb C. Flynn by and through their respective counsel, and hereby request that the court set the preliminary hearing of this matter for Thursday, March 26, 2026 at 1 p.m. pursuant to the defendant and counsel's signed waiver of time preliminary hearing executed and filed on February 24th, 2026. So 2 days before the hearing, I mean, that's fine. But yeah, they needed a case change, or they needed a change. So change the date, which I mean, they just got their client, let them have that change the date because they're going to need to look through the evidence that they do have. And it says entry granting joint motion as to preliminary hearing date and time. So it just says take motion of the parties for good cause shown. The court finds the motion well taken and hereby grants the same. The preliminary hearing is currently set for March 26, 2026 at 1 p.m. So the Judge Kendall. That's a bad signature, but I mean, can't say nothing. Mine's probably just as bad. Now we'll be getting to some of the better ones here in a minute. Like, these are just kind of redundant, but we don't have that many more to actually go through. So then the next one is them talking about the gag order. Motion for restricted access to case filings and discovery. Oh, well, now comes the defendant, Caleb Carl, by and through his attorneys, Mormont and Mulligan, LLC, and hereby respectfully moves this honorable court for an order that the Miami County Clerk of Court's office restrict public access to the above captioned case number until it has been fully adjudicated and resolved, including access to the clerk's only filing system. Additionally, the defendant moves this honorable court for an order restricting the dissemination of information related to the above captioned case by any law enforcement agency, including but not limited to Tip City Police Department, Miami County Sheriff's Department, Federal Bureau of Investigation, and the Miami County Prosecutor's Office until the matter has been fully adjudicated and resolved. Respectfully, Mormont and Mulligan. Oh, I thought there was 3 pages for some reason of that. So then the next one, that one was 3-3. And then we have another order that came on the docket, and it's motion for domestic violence temporary protection order. So we're going to read the actual protection order, and then we're going to read where they, I guess, on file for it. Maybe. What did that do? Oh, it like blocked it. Okay. Well, not anymore. Let me see. Now a lot of this is redacted. Let me exit out of all these. This one's a long one. I'm going to try to, or did I just delete the wrong one? I think I did. I did. Give you like the rough drafts of these. This one, it's kind of long. That's why I couldn't see this one earlier, because it was like it popped. Is it? Yeah, I want you to continue popping like the blocking the pop-ups, but not this one. Okay, so motion for domestic violence temporary protection order. Now come redacted duly appointed guardians of the minor children of the decedent, and respectfully move the court pursuant to Ohio Revised Code to issue domestic violence temporary protection order as a condition of the defendant's pretrial release in this matter. Now it says, identity and standing of movements. Hey, you two. There are two beds. You do not need to argue. And it comes in, I think we've actually read over this not too long ago, so I'll just kind of like go back over it. But they talks about the minor children, and it talks about the estates, like the house and all of that. The minor children talks about, they're the biological children of Caleb and of Ashley. And it says that the Ohio Revised Code authorizes a family or household member of an alleged victim to file a motion for a temporary protection order in a criminal case involving an offense of violence. Hey, stop following each other. How about that? Mia, stop sitting on her. Hold on. I was trying to get her to move. She wouldn't move. Sorry about that. She would not move. And then she went back over and sat on her again. And then the dog, of course, crowd. Now they're going to growl again. Oh my gosh. I'm going to start leaving these guys out the door. So as guardians, movements are authorized to act on the behalf of the minor children. So they're talking about basically what they wanted is they want the insurance policies, the house, how much it was worth, and they'll go through everything too and how much everything was worth. And they want the bank accounts. They want like the bank accounts frozen. I think we went over this actually. And then just says the nature of the criminal charges. It's going to say what he's charged with, what he did. Grounds for issuance of the temporary protection order. So then they go through and they say, this is why we feel like we have grounds for a temporary restraining order, because of the offense. It was so violent and it was against a household member. We feel like, our safety needs to be protected. The minor children face immediate and irreparable harm if the defendant is permitted to disseminate, transfer, conceal, or encumber marital assets. So they talk about how, if Caleb's able to get his little grimy hands on all these assets, that he may take them and put them into, another bank account or liquefy them, or however he could do that to get the money to where they'll never see that money. I thought this was an open-ended marriage for a second. Okay. So the defendant has the motive, opportunity, and means to dissipate these assets or to transfer them to third parties or to otherwise place them beyond the reach of the children in the estate. Even if you gave them to the church. I wonder if you could ask for I wonder how that would work. If they did a big donation to the church with that money, I don't know. And then Mia just moved. And it just says for it to be like into effect, until pretrial release, asset preservation, life insurance proceeds for both, retirement pension, financial accounts. We do just read over these. I remember this. So that's why I'm going kind of fast over this one. Retirement accounts, they want those. Real property, marital residence and personal property. Vehicles, they do talk about the vehicles. And then duty to preserve records and provide accounting. Yeah, they're not coming back in next time. Those dogs are too much for me. They're too much. So basically, that's what it is. It says they want a summary of the defendant's current income, employer, and ordinary living expenses. Well, I mean, ramen and honey buns. He doesn't have any normal living expenses at this point. Bunch of stuff's redacted. Request for expedited hearing on the matter, and then I guess it's the signature. There's more. Oh, it's just has the stuff that he's been charged with at the bottom. I knew that we had went over that one. This is motion. Oh, the thing's in the way. Please wait. Did it do it again? No. All right, let's try that again. This is supposed to be motion of guardians of the minor children for order compelling prosecuting attorney to provide financial information and documents to guardians with confidentiality restrictions. I don't know why it's like not opening. Let me try the next one. What the heck? It took me back to home. Maybe I was off of the page for too long or something. There, look up this whole thing again. Well, we weren't off of there very long. Okay. Let's try that again. Okay, it did pop it. It did block it. Okay. And that was just the confidentiality. Okay. And then notice of appearance of counsel for guardians of minor children. Please take note that Timothy Pepper Esquire and Julia Meister Esquire of the law firm Taft, I don't know how to say that, Stennis and Hollister hereby enter their appearances for redacted and redacted, duly appointed guardians of the minor children and the children of the decedent. So, if you hit return, it makes it bigger, but I don't know how to make it smaller. Well, that sucks. Guardians of the minor children response to defendant Caleb Flynn's motion for restricted access to case filing discovery. It says, duly appointed guardians of the persons and estates of the minor children respectfully submit this response to defendant Caleb Flynn's motion for restricted access to case filings and discovery. On March 3rd, 2026, guardians acting in their capacity as victim representatives pursuant to the Ohio Revised Code, Chapter 2030 or 2930, moved this court for an order compelling the Miami County prosecuting attorney to provide the guardians certain financial information and documents in the prosecution's possession, custody, or control relating to the financial affairs and assets of the defendant, Caleb Flynn, and the decedent, Ashley Flynn, and to ordering the guardians and their counsel to maintain the strict confidentiality of all information and documents received from the prosecuting attorney and to use such information and documents solely in connection with their duties as guardians for the minor children. Guardians oppose defendant's motion only to the extent that the relief requested in defendant's motion could potentially conflict with the relief requested in guardian's motion, but the two motions do not necessarily request conflicting orders. If it is so inclined, the court can grant defendant's motion and include a limited exception to permit the relief requested in the guardian's motion. The guardians seek access to certain information in the prosecution's possession solely for use in carrying out their responsibilities as guardian for the children, and their access to that information for that limited purpose is not inconsistent with the interests the defendant seeks to protect in the defendant's motion. Okay, so they're like saying, we just want this, we're not trying to be, we don't want this information for anything nefarious other than to protect, the children and try to get these financial records that, we need to see so that we know how much these children, should be getting. And then this is the withdrawal. So notice of withdrawal of motion for domestic violence temporary protection order. And this is redacted. Duly appointed guardians of the persons and estates of the minor children hereby respectfully withdraw the motion for domestic violence temporary protection order filed on March 3rd. Guardians reserve the right to refile at a later date if necessary. Now, do you know why? Do you guys have any idea why they would? Like normally a judge gives like in the Idaho 4 case. I know this case we go back to a lot, but Brian Koberger, they gave right away, like right when he went to court, they were like, restraining order. You can't talk to any of the families. You can't talk to any of the friends. Can't talk to any of the victims. Nothing like that. Surviving victims, nothing like that. So I'm assuming that they got one like that. The daughters did. They got a protection order where Caleb's not supposed to contact them. I'm just wondering why they would put this in. Just very weird. Let's see what they, yeah. Okay. I think we have a few more. Yeah, this one I just read. No. Wait, I don't know. Oh, okay, we're right here. Okay, I'm like, where were we? And then it says entry granting motion for withdrawal. It doesn't have a document or like a document for it. It says entry granting motion for withdrawal of domestic violence temporary protection order signed by Judge Kendall. And then the next one is memorandum in support of defendant's motion for restricted access. It just says that he's through his attorneys. Okay. And hereby submits, okay, here it is. His memorandum in support of the defendant's motion for restricted access filed March 3rd. This case came before the court on a criminal complaint filed February 20th, 2026, alleging murder, felonious assault, and tampering with evidence. The defendant, Caleb Flynn, signed a waiver of time requirements for the preliminary hearing on February 24th, 2026. Since the date of this filing, several pleadings, police reports, and police body cam footage have been released to the press and the public. Vital evidence has been uploaded and shared online to various national news and social media platforms for the public to consume. In response, the defense filed a motion for restricted access to case filings and discovery on March 3rd, 2026. The prosecution has entered no objection. Okay. Pervasive, unfair, and prejudicial media coverage of a criminal trial may jeopardize the accused's right to a fair trial guaranteed by the Sixth Amendment to the United States Constitution. Okay. As a solution, trial courts have a duty to protect criminal defendants from inherently prejudicial publicity that renders a jury's deliberations unfair. Trial courts have wise discretion in being able to protect the judicial process from influences that pose a danger to effective justice. Oh, they're definitely going to ask for a change of venue. This includes the authority to issue gag orders and impose restrictions on witnesses, parties, and attorneys. A gag order based on the need to protect an accused's right to a fair trial may issue only if specific findings are made, demonstrating that first, there is a substantial probability that the defendant's right to a fair trial will be prejudiced by publicity that the gag order would prevent, and second, reasonable alternatives cannot adequately protect the defendant's fair trial rights. Okay. The Ohio Supreme Court held that the gag order issued by the trial court was necessary to avoid potential prejudice. They're just like citing examples. The dissemination of video discovery, police reports, and any other evidence to the public and the press greatly jeopardizes Mr. Flynn's constitutional rights to a fair trial. Evidence intended to be shown to an unbiased jury at trial has already been released to the public and shared online, garnering thousands of views and comments. Any further disclosure of evidence will substantially and materially prejudice the jury pool and adjudicative proceedings. Additionally, any pleadings available to the public on the clerk's website risk prejudicial publicity. A gag order restricting the clerk's office, law enforcement, and any other parties or witnesses from disseminating any information pertaining to the facts and evidence in this case is necessary to abide by the duty to protect Mr. Flynn's right to a fair trial as well as interest of justice. Not if they're putting out facts. So basically, they don't want anyone disseminating any information in this case. I think there's two left. So then we have this one. What's the next one? Okay, and then the next one will be an answer for the one that we just read. So it says, Guardians of the, this is State of Ohio memorandum in opposition to the Guardians of the Minor Children motion to compel the prosecuting attorney to provide financial information and documents to guardians. This is just what we kind of read earlier. So I don't know. The guardians of the defendant minor children filed on March 4th, 2026, a motion compelling the state to produce financial documents concerning the defendant that have allegedly been obtained by the state in connection with the investigation of the underlying criminal proceeding. The guardians have based their motion upon victim rights law as set forth in various sections of the Ohio Revised Code. Specifically, the guardians allege that they and the minor children are victims within the meaning of the Ohio Constitution and thus should be entitled to access the defendant's financial information, which may currently be in the possession of the state. However, the guardians and representatives of the defendant and the decedent minor children are not entitled to evidence currently in possession of the state. Specifically addresses what information shall be provided to victims. This list as set forth, and it gives the Ohio Revised Code, though through does not include the financial information sought by the guardians herein, which include copies of any and all financial records, including but not limited to bank accounts, brokerage accounts, certificates of deposit, money market accounts, investment accounts, and other financial accounts in the name of the defendant and or decedent, as well as life insurance and death benefits, motor vehicle information, income and employment records, debt and liabilities, etc. The guardians allege that they have authority pursuant to, and it gives the revised code, as member of the deceased victim's family to exercise all victims' rights, as well are the court appointed guardians of the estate and the persons of the defendant's minor children. The estate does not contest that they may be construed as victims for purposes of this proceeding. Additionally, the guardians allege that because they are victims, they have the right to receive copies free of charge of court records available to public access. Dang, you ain't paying for that FOIA. And that the prosecutor should confer and provide information regarding the case prior to key proceedings. Good luck. Good luck. Do you think that the Gonzalez's, the Mogans, the Kernodles, or the Chapins got that? Nope. Nope, they didn't. But they also didn't write this, so this might help them. Because they're like, right in the beginning, we want free copies of the FOIA, and we also want you to tell us, you confer with us, conversate with us before any key things come out. Pretty smart. That's probably why they withdraw their last thing and then put this one in. The Ohio Revised Code provisions do not confirm or grant any right or authority to obtain records used in law enforcement investigations. Furthermore, the Ohio Revised Code does not confer a right for the victim to be a party to the proceeding. The appropriate parties in a criminal proceedings are the state and the defendant. Victims are not parties. It is not the victim's interests that are being represented in a criminal case, but rather those of the people of the state of Ohio. Thus, the guardians are not proper parties in this action and have no authority to compel the state for the provision of information used in the ongoing criminal investigation. The guardians are in effect asking this court to use its discretion in a criminal case to order the state to provide information similar to the sharing of information of parties in a domestic relations proceeding. While the state is aware of its obligation to the alleged victims and the reasons the guardians seek this information, the guardians have provided no authority or case law to support of their position that they are entitled to receive copies from the state of investigative financial documents and information regarding the defendant at this stage of the legal proceeding. For example, and it gives the revised code, allows a court to grant victims of misdemeanor crimes restitution from the defendant through sanctions. However, this applies after an offender has been found guilty and sentenced, not during the pendency or initial stages of a legal proceeding. Furthermore, there is no provision in Chapter 2929 for the court to order the provision to a victim of a defendant's financial records. The guardians also contend that obtaining the defendant's financial records, which may be in the possession of the state for the criminal prosecution, is the easiest and most expedient way to obtain the records. The guardians herein do possess other means to obtain the financial records and should obtain the relief requested from the Miami County Common Pleas Court and or Miami County Probate Court, either through the guardianship proceedings or in estate proceedings, and may also seek an order from the court for an expedited response so that they may more quickly access any documentation or information they feel is necessary to perform their duties as guardians. Contrary to the guardian's assertion that the defendant herein has no legitimate expectation of privacy in those records, the financial records of the defendant contained PII. They are not public records and cannot be produced by the state in response to a public records request. Furthermore, with regard to the guardian's allegation that the minors may have a legal and or equitable interest in any assets of the defendant, no determination has yet been made by any court as to the status of the minor's right to inherit, nor of their father's inability to inherit. Since the filing of the guardian's motion herein, the guardians have withdrawn their motion for domestic violence temporary protection order, also filed in this court, seeking an order restraining the defendant from dissipating, transferring, concealing, or encumbering assets of the marital estate and the decedent's estate and life insurance proceeds. In the guardian's motion herein, they asserted that they are required the defendant's financial records in the state's possession as a method of monitoring compliance with the protection order they previously sought from this court. With the withdrawal from the or by the guardians of their motion for the temporary protection order, this alleged need for the use of these financial materials is now moot. For the reasons set forth herein, the state respectfully requests that this court deny the guardian's motion to compel the prosecuting attorney to provide financial information and documentation to guardians with confidentiality restrictions. Respectfully submitted, Jonathan Freeman. Okay, and he's, just, I guess, he wants that. He wants that money. I mean, obviously. Okay. Now, this is the state's. Hold on. Which one do we just read? Same thing. Wait, no, it's not. Okay. It's a little different. Just a little different. So this is the last one. And this one was put in on 3/13. So yesterday. Now comes the plaintiff, state of Ohio, by and through counsel, and hereby request that the court deny the defendant's motion for restricted access to case filings and discovery. So the state of Ohio does not want a gag order. Restricting public access. This is from the state of Ohio. The defendant's motion attempts to restrict public access to case filings in this matter. It is presumed that the public access refers to restricting access to court filings that are otherwise available to the public via court view, the court's paper file, and otherwise to any court proceedings. The defendant has further requested that these restrictions shall be in place until it has been fully adjudicated and resolved. The state of Ohio opposes defendant's motion for multiple reasons set forth herein. Open access to court records is a valued public policy in Ohio. The Ohio Constitution, Bill of Rights, Article 1, Section 16 states in part, all courts shall be open and every person for an injury done him in his land, goods, persons, or reputation shall have remedy by due course of law and shall have justice administered without denial or delay. Furthermore, the Ohio Public Records Act guarantees the public's right to access records maintained by public entities. In Ohio, court records are also governed by the rules for superintendents, which defines what constitutes a court record and what may be exempt from disclosure. The rules of superintendents provide that court records are presumed open to the public. Okay. In order to restrict public access to court files, there must be clear and convincing evidence of the need. In order for the court to grant the defendant's request to restrict public access to the court's file in this case, this court must find that the reasons for restricting access outweigh the presumption of allowing public access to the documents. The Ohio rules of superintendents prescribe what factors the court shall consider, and if the presumption of allowing public access, if outweighed by a higher interest after consideration of those factors. The defendant has not set forth any assertions or evidence as to the basis for the court to restrict public access. Further, the obligation of the state pursuant to the Ohio Revised Code, and it gives a section, Ohio Public Records Act should not be restricted by this court. Yeah, it shouldn't be. Been down there many times. The Public Records Act has its own mechanisms for obtaining public records, and those mechanisms shall not be limited by the defendant's notion herein. Yeah, you tell him. Okay, so then it says, the defendant, or restricting dissemination of information. The defendant also seeks the court to restrict the dissemination of information by the various law enforcement agencies investigating this matter. While the defendant seeks to limit law enforcement, he chooses not to include himself or his legal representatives in the dissemination of information in this motion. Yeah, so y'all can talk. Obviously, the state would oppose any restriction as to what can be classified as information that does not otherwise apply equally to the defendant. Furthermore, the state and federal governments have obligations to respond to provide public records requests beyond the documents filed in this proceeding pursuant to the Ohio Public Records Act, as required by law. Therefore, the defendant's motion shall be denied, allowing the state to comply with public records law and to allow any statements made in the public domain to be unabridged. 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 That's what Jonathan Freeman said. Prosecuting attorney. He says he's down. He's like the Ohio Constitution. And I'm all like, oh, yeah, you tell him. So does everybody want to get pissed off together? It's better than getting pissed on. That's what they say anyway, right? Okay, I don't know if this pisses off. I don't know if it pisses me off. I guess it's kind of whatever, but I've just never seen it. I mean, I have, I guess, in Luigi Mangione's case, but that wasn't his parents that set that up. That was Luigi Mangione's like attorneys. So let me give you the backdrop here. I'm minding my own beeswax, getting ready for this show, and I see that our dude Caleb Carl, no dude of ours, his parents, Mike and his wife, started a Give Send Go. It's just like a GoFundMe, but it's called a Give Send Go. It's the same exact thing. They're trying to get money. They're trying to get $100,000, not money, $100,000 for travel expenses for their son's upcoming trial. Okay, we're not even a month in. What the are you talking about, dude? Your son's going to be in prison or jail for at least a year or two before he even goes to a trial, and then he's probably going to plead out. So what are you going to do? Keep all that money after you get it? Sorry, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't think it should be allowed. I'm sorry. I don't like it. That's my thing on it. That's my take. That's my hot take. I know people should be able to help their children, because like their children. No, not if you're not in this kind of position. I feel like not when the evidence is so heavy. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. $100,000. Do you know that's life-changing money? That's $100,000. Where did they wait? Hold on a second. They live in Minnesota. Don't you live in Minnesota? I live in Missouri, but that's not that far. You don't need $100,000. And if this is for you're not paying for your son's lawyer there, pal. Your son is an adult. He got himself, that should not be allowed. People's parents should not be allowed to pay for their attorneys. If they're an adult over the age of 30, they got to pay for their own attorney. He's 39 years old. He was standing on his own 2 feet or laying in bed when he did the crime. Let him do the same in court. He hasn't talked about you guys. I'm just saying. I just don't like it. I don't like it at all. I hate it. Like, I know that if somebody was innocent, though, then I'd probably be like, well, I don't know how I feel about that part. But this guy, just no. If the Kobergers, right? Could you imagine if actually the Koberger girls did it? Just the women that were like in Kobergers that liked him? I'm surprised they didn't, actually. They weren't as smart as Luigi Mangione's fan base. Oh, did you Princess Elsa? What was I going to ask? I was going to say, like, Minnesota to Ohio. I mean, I'm not sure where Minnesota is. Like, I do, but I don't. Like, I'm trying to think of how much, like, gas that would cost. Because you're just going to drive your own, pack your Slim Jims and your sodas and your lunch meat and your bread like my parents used to do. We go to Philadelphia. You don't need to be stopping and eating at every Cracker Barrel up the coast. That's funny, Colleen. Like, I'm bringing my fish back. That sounds like something my brother would do. My stomach's growling when I say, right? Like, and then, I mean, let's read it. This page is meant to reflect encouragement, prayer, and support. Comments that do not honor that spirit may be removed. Oh, I don't think there's any comments on here. Mike is a husband. This ain't about Mike. Grandfather and a man of faith who has always cared deeply about the people around him. Those who know him understand the kind of man he is, loyal to his family, committed to his faith, and someone who has never been afraid to stand up for what he believes is right. So, you believe your son? You believe your son that of all the doors that he went through, the one with the refrigerator pushed? And he just happened to get in the truck and know exactly where the gun was. And then he knew Caleb would be in bed with the girls at that exact moment. And that Caleb would freeze and not run after him so that he wouldn't be able to identify him. He knew all that stuff was going to happen. Okay. Then, okay. Right now, Mike and his wife are walking through a very difficult season that has placed significant emotional and financial strain on their lives. What's the financial strain? Like, seriously, other than you have a collect call from an inmate at the Miami County Jail, Caleb, and your commissary. Like, seriously, what? What's the financial strain that you're under? I'm truly listening. I'm all ears. I have more financial strain than you guys have right now. And my kid ain't in jail. Are you kidding me? I mean, emotional. Woo. Couldn't imagine that one. Couldn't imagine that. Especially because Caleb, by all intents and purposes, like back in the 2013 interview, he said the Carrie Underwood stuff, but he looked like he was a decent guy. Like he looked like he might have been a little maybe introverted or like a little weird in a way, I would say, or something. I don't know. I'd be like, I'm an introvert, so I guess I'm weird. But you know what I mean? Like he just comes off a little like, there's a word I'm trying to find. I can't think of the word. But he just, that's the way he comes off. But no. We can see where he gets from. Okay. So it says, and this is what pisses me off. I already exited out of the GoFundMe for the girls, and I should have left it up because the girls, his daughters, on their GoFundMe, it says on there, friends have asked how they can help us. Not like the little girl saying that, but the family is saying that. And now it's on theirs. Friends have asked how they can help after talking. No, they haven't. No, they haven't. Nobody has asked. They've asked, how can we help? But they mean like when someone's dog dies, right? Or something like, how can I help you? Or I'm so sorry to hear about that. What can I do to help? They don't mean the next thing out of your mouth shouldn't be, oh, can you come stay with me for 12 weeks? You know what I mean? Like you don't do stuff that's like out of out of pocket. This is out of pocket. No one's asked. After talking with Mike, we decided the most practical way people can support him during this time is through money. That's what it says, this fundraiser, but it's money. That means money. So the most practical way that people can help you right now is not through prayer. You're a faith-based man, not through maybe making a pot roast and bringing it over so your wife don't have to cook that night. But through $100,000 to help cover ongoing, you been up here yet? Travel expenses and legal costs. You can't even come up here and see your kid in person. What do you talk about? You talk to them on the iPad. That's that. And then if you go to the jail, you talk to them through a screen. You don't see them anymore. You don't see them through a glass. They don't do that ever since COVID. You talk through it like a TV. I know. It's like me too, Laura, right? I feel the same. I'm just like, I got like a love-hate thing going with this. Give, send, go. I mean, because $100,000 is a lot. Like maybe you could have started with like 25,000 and then like raised it or something, but you went right out the gate with 100 grand. There are okay. Do you know how many people there are that don't even make that in a year? And you're all over here asking for it on a give, send, go? Maybe you could have made a give, send, go for your granddaughters. How about that? Your son can't be mad about that. He wouldn't have been able to be mad about that. No, if he was a God-fearing man like he says, and you said, I set up a give, send, go for the girls, he would be mad about that, though. He's probably the one who said, go over there. They got to go fund me. Now you go to give, send, go, and you put 100,000 on there. I wonder how much does she have at first. Now I'm curious. Hers was 50,000 when she started for 2 little girls. And they have 173,000. It says, if you're able to give your support will mean a great deal to Mike and his family. I am organizing this fundraiser with Mike's full permission. Every contribution will go towards helping relieve the financial pressure that comes with this situation. What situation? What can you elaborate on what you mean by this situation? Oh, look at this. Ongoing travel expenses and legal cost. You do not need to be paying for your kids. For 39 years old, and he can't pay for his own attorney, then he shouldn't have shot his wife allegedly. If you guys just like when they still say this, don't have kids if you can't afford them, but it's like, hello, I'll never have a kid then. Don't commit a murder if you can't afford to go to prison for the rest of your life and pay for an attorney. Yeah, I just don't like the travel expenses and legal cost. Like, you don't need to be. What are you expecting to get in some trouble while you're up here, Mike? Because I would be like, no, sorry. But they have gotten a little bit. They've gotten 2 prayer. I don't know what it means if I hit prayer, will it be 3? I'll say a prayer. This is the person. Okay, so they want $100,000 and they've raised $1,480. That's still a lot of money. Yeah, he did, Ashley. ATM. Yeah, should have went and got like one for the girls. Because it's not like his kid could be mad at him about that. And if he was, I mean, then you can be like, whatever. Cheese is plumb off the cracker. Speaking of cheese and crackers, you know the little cheese and crackers you used to eat as a kid, like with the little red spoon? Don't put the red spoon in there anymore. Got some today. I don't know why I got some, but they were good. Maybe we'll watch this on our next live because I do have a video, but it's like an hour long. So we'll pin that. What's this? Oh, we already knew that. That Tepe house is up for sale. I wonder if anybody's been there to see it. Like, if they've had anybody interested in it. And there's nothing on. Okay, yeah. I was gonna see if there's anything else. Let's see. Oh wait, I wanted to see that. What was that thing about? Let me go back to my history. This. Why is like I don't we believe okay. Do you guys want to if I can figure out hey Tom, if I can figure out like she's making bubbles now. I might miss some, but I'm pretty good at not doing that and like not missing any. But do you want to go back through Sheriff Nanos's interviews from the Nancy Guthrie case? I can't eat the canned cheese. I don't like cheese. It's weird. I do not like cheese. I will pull it off my pizza even, but those cheese and crackers, shit, all day long. Had 2 of them today. I was like, well, if I'm going to be big, I'm just going to take it all in. Working out for 2 weeks and I gained. Can you believe that, guys? Can you believe it? Better be muscle. I'm like, it better be muscle. I'm still not giving up, but you know. So no, because I thought it would be kind of funny because this guy is like all over the friggin' place still. Like, so I saw the like when we were first searching the first thing, it said Sheriff in Nancy Guthrie case says of kidnapper, we believe we know why he did this. This is what he says. We believe we know why the kidnapper did this, and we believe that it was targeted, but we're not 100% sure of that. Then you don't know. Like, then he elaborates further. I think it's come out from day one. I think day one we had some strong beliefs about what happened, and those beliefs haven't diminished. I'm not going to get into those theories. They're theories. Then there's no evidence, and you back off of it. We have our beliefs. Everybody has theirs. Oh my God, that's called an opinion. And a sheriff should never, ever offer his opinion on a case. I'm sorry, but he shouldn't. He should be factual. Oh my God. Good golly, Miss Jolly. I hope they find Nancy. And I hope she's alive. And I hope she comes out of that wherever she's from. And I hope she walks straight over to Sheriff Nanos. And because you know he will be there. He would literally be like, don't rescue her yet. No, oh, you see her, don't get her yet until I'm there. And then he's going to get there. And I hope she just knocks his block off. I hope she just, because he has been incredibly insensitive and not very knowledgeable in this case. Like he doesn't even know the case. Like he'll be like, "Well, I didn't cover that part of it, and I have to talk to my guys. My guys know, yeah. I bet you, I could probably put money on it that they didn't even know about the blood until Brian Enton. Yeah, way back. I feel like it'd be kind of funny just to watch all of his stupid interviews. Because I swear he contradicts himself every other interview. It's like, what are you doing, bud? What are you doing? Like, I mean, this is a waste of paper. Have you guys seen how much, speaking of which, waste of paper, have you guys seen how much magazines are nowadays? I might have to watch that. Actually, I was in the line and I wanted to pick up this magazine for like ADHD. And it was $16.99. See, Ladybug right there. Brian was the first. See, I was about to say I probably could put my channel on it. Just the way that they all rushed back and they put the crime scene tape back up. It was just like, here's my little thing. I've got this. I could come and help. I should get one of those for JLR. Hey, Royal High Grounds. Oh, what are you eating? I thought that's why Savannah called Senator Mark Kelly, because they knew Nanos was incompetent. Yeah. I hope she gets somewhere with him. I mean, she could probably get. Yeah. She could probably do more than that police station. I know, Colleen. They're like the little magazines, like those that I used to like to read when I was like even like younger too, right? They're like $7, $8, $9. I'm like, what is going on here? I was like, you want us to read, right? You don't want us to brain rot in front of a computer, but you're making me pay $20 for a magazine? I didn't get it. I didn't get the magazine. Oh, thanks, Royal High Grounds. It is insanity. My grandmother used to read the Inquirer. I think it was like $1.99. We miss you, Tom. I don't know if the family can request that. You would think they could. I mean, especially with somebody with her standing. She's offered $1 million, though. The person that did the ransom letters, I'm going to go on a limb and say that those weren't real, or they were like a decoy from the person that did this. I mean, either this person is super smart, which I really don't see that in a way. I think they're kind of dumb, but they're getting really lucky. But then it's like, how are they getting so lucky? How are they not dumb? Yeah, the limited interview with Eaton. He did nothing with Eaton. Eaton even said that. He was like, he gives all of them to the local stations. Yeah. My grandma used to get the Star and the Inquirer. Yeah. That was like her thing. Hey, High Tea Club. Well, thank you guys all for being here tonight. I think Vincent went back out for a little while. And welcome in anybody that I didn't see. If you guys don't mind, will you hit the like button for me? It does help. It helps the channel. I told you guys I will be having a surgery soon. I'm not sure when. And then I thought something else was coming up. Oh, no, that's just Vincent sleeping me. That's in May, though. So nothing biggie till then. But we are almost to spring. Oh, let's look it up. I think it's, what is it, March 22nd or something? We're almost there, guys. We're like a week away. Spring is springing. And if you guys didn't watch my video of me cleaning out my closet, I've said this twice. I said this the last night's live. I'm going to say it again. If you're thinking about cleaning out your closet and you're one of those people that, you hear the organizational rule is you take everything out of the room, then you put it back in. Only do this if you are bound and determined to not put a bunch of stuff back in your closet, because it's a lot to do. It's a lot of work. It was so much. I was like, oh my gosh, why did I give myself so much work? And I'm not one of those people that likes racks in my, like, I had 3 racks in the living room full of clothes. And these racks that I own, they're like, I showed you guys, I mean, they're huge metal racks. They're not just like those regular ones that you get at the store. These are like industrial metal racks. So like, there was 2 of those in the living room. And then I still have stuff to pack away, but mine's like a walk-in, but it's not a walk-in, but it's a walk-in. Like you can walk in, but you ain't dancing around or nothing in there. You can do like a little shuffle or something. But like, I really want my dream closet so bad. I'll get it one day, when we get a house. But like, I want like a little chandelier in there. I want it to look cute and girly. But for right now, I just wanted it cleaned. And like, it's a good idea actually. If you're like in between sizes or something, or like, you know what I mean? Like, and you want to get a certain size out of your closet. It is a good way to do that, because I literally didn't put anything really back in the closet. Like I did. It's full to me, but it's not like jam packed, and it's like all nice and like, it looks like a freaking Target store in there. And Vincent's like, he's like, is my rack going to fit back in there? I'm like, yeah, I got to scoot it back in there. And one of these days I'll get me a big girl dresser. The dresser. And thanks for hitting the likes. I appreciate it. Yeah, Laura, mine was too. It's snowing there, Princess. We're not going to get any more snow. I don't think. Maybe we're just going to get some rain. Just some rain, which is not bad. Let me see. Yeah, just some rain on Monday. And then, on Tuesday it's going to be freezing. And of course, I have to do something Tuesday. It's going to be 29 degrees. And I packed away all of my two set outfits, my 2 set outfits. Okay, that's fine. So, oh my gosh, I'm going to let it. Yeah. But then if you get it all out and you're like me and you have OCD, you have to like figure out a solution. I didn't even know that I had blue towels. I forgot that we once had our bathroom done in navy blue. Like I had the bath mat, looks brand new. I'm like, that's really nice. And like the blue towels and like the shower curtain and everything. And I'm just like, oh. So I just bought an extra little basket and put it on the bottom of the floor, and put our towels in it, like our extra towels in it today. Like 2 baskets, because we use the same towels. Like we never really reach for our extra towels, unless I'm like washing them and Vince wants to take a shower or something. So I know, and then we organize it, Lee, right? Mine looks pretty good. I might have to take a picture of it. I was actually sad that I didn't do like a video, like a before and after. I'm like, oh man. I was like, shoot. Oh, but look at my after nails. You can't even tell they're painted. They're like clear almost. It's like a pinkish clear. Remember that red I had? Oh my, that red needed to go. Well, I broke one today and I was like, yes, that means I have to go get them done. Kill the hubby collector Playboys. That's so funny. I remember like being younger, like being little. Whose dad was that played with? I think it was Courtney's. Our friend Courtney, her dad did. My dad didn't. My mom would have beat him probably silly. Because she would have been afraid one of us would have found it. You know what I mean? Like she wouldn't have cared if there was no kids, but like my mom was just crazy like that. She would have been like, mm-mm. But my brother also sneaky ass guy. Like think about if we were younger, this would have been great. This would have been like, this is actually like gold. My brother and I, we are 9 years apart. So when he wanted to do something sneaky, he would hide it under my bed. Beer, liquor, my bed, stuff like that. Yeah, underneath my bed. He said, Mom would never look under your bed ever. Like, I mean, unless she was cleaning it or something. Do you know what I mean? But like, I'm like, you're smart. That's a smart bro. Which, speaking of which, his birthday's in 2 days. I got him a birthday card. I want to write something nice in it. Because I get him one every year. And I know he likes it. It's just a little thing that I do. Well, I'm going to jump off of here. I'll let the new intro tape play like a few different times. I'll just leave it on loop. That way you guys can say goodbye to each other. I might keep the other video as well. Do one for intro, one for outro or something. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But we'll play a little bit of that song that I downloaded. I don't even know. It's another. So we have another song that's by the same band as this song or whatever. So I was trying to make a shorter clip for like an intro, and I'm still working on it. So I want one that maybe just like spells out my name, and then that's like it. And then like I come on, but this one was just like a shorter one that I kind of put together quickly before the live. So that's what I did. So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. If you guys don't mind, hit the like on the way out, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 25,000 subscribers. We're getting there. We're getting there. And thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate it. I will see you guys all tomorrow. Have a good night. Bye, guys.
And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. 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 Yeah, I just wanna be great.
To appreciate all that is vacant, it's just for the taking. If you make up your mind, you can take it. I'm never complacent, I would work in a mansion or basement. Yeah, there's no replacement for persistence, it's a patience. Yeah, in this life I wanna be soaring, to feel sun inside when it's pouring. And I'll fight till anxiety is foreign. I'm so sick of my mind's extortion.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great.